Yeah, testing, testing, and everything. It should be nominal. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. Hey guys, welcome to another live stream here at TrinFx during the London session. So we're just gonna jump right into it and look at what what we could have going on in the markets today and potential setups that we could get into and get a profit off of. And I just want to start off here with looking at some of the fundamental data that we do have coming up. We have a lot of Euro news coming up. Um, and so this may give us some moves from the euro dollar, as well as earlier today, sorry, as the course of today continues, at 9:30 we do have some USD news as well. This might help the US dollar push in a bullish manner. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. As you can see, if we look at some of the consensus here, um, in terms of the figures like PC, I don't really watch these data points. More so the jobless claims, initial jobless claims. We see that it's actually reduced, right? So this is good here, reduced on what jobless claims 4 week average. This, if we come out below this, actually that would be good for the currency as well. And we also have personal income spending and so forth. Um, yeah, we have some ECB speeches as well, continuing well later on in the day, right? Somewhere around, I think this would be 10:40 or something like that. All right, so we have some speeches as well coming out, well, tonight, as it will be, right? So we have, yeah, the main focus right here now is all these euro news may help the euro dollar, um, as well as the USD news that we do have as well, right? Looking for those lower values if it does come out as the consensus are even lower, that's good for the currency. So we'll see how that actually plays out. So thank you guys, thank you for joining in. Um, let's see what we have happening on the charts. All right, we can see that price actually turn around. Something that we was expecting after the FOMC, sorry, not FOMC, after Chair Powell spoke, right? Was expecting a sort of a turnaround on price from the US dollar. Stones kind of improve. And we see that happening actually right now, right? So I have some trades on this NCD and AD US AD CAD, as well as the USD aspects of those as well. Let's take a look at the DXY. Right, so the DXY actually pushed from these highs here, as you can see, very strongly to the downside. So moving forward during the course of the day, we could actually see either price continue that push downwards or it just maintains this and comes back up here in this sort of range movement. Right, what that would mean for the US currency cross pairs, excuse me, it means a total recovery of this bearish move that we did have right during the course of yesterday. We could actually correct this. So that's something I'm looking forward to and potentially able to trade. BPJPY. Now this is just completely I don't even know how to describe this. Alright, initially we did look to enter the trade right around here, right? Yesterday morning, and you see price maintained that. We had some buy positions, right? Price maintained this area, and then it continued moving back up, right? And then we made this wick back down, correcting all this movement. So you saw the bearishness actually stepped in. At that point, we could have entered, to the downside. Did take an entry right around here, but then price corrected itself. See, came up, and then we saw it actually started to fall overnight. So that's was quite interesting. Right, we did have some fundamental. We had a lot of fundamental data playing around with each other. So a lot of mixed data at that point of time, and that really made price do all this weirdness. So can't really control that, guys. It's just part of trading. So yeah, we continue. We push forward. Right, just let me know if you hear me clearly, right? Hopefully everybody's hearing me clearly. Hopefully I'm being heard clearly. All right. Okay, moving forward here, let's take a look at the daily. Alright, so on the daily time frame, if we're moving with the overall direction and the overall momentum, price does have a chance to actually come all the way down here. Let's take a look at the 4 hour and closer. Right, we are in a rejective zone here. If we look here to the left, right, this is a rejective zone that price has stopped into here. Now, with the overall momentum, we could actually clear all the way back down here. Provided that we do get that volume, price should push past this area and continue to the downside, right? Because this is the next, sorry, this is the next target area right here within this sort of these zones that we are seeing, right? So take a look here at the 1 hour and let's see what we can get. So this is coming to a close in a few. So something that we could do, 30, take some short positions. Good short this, and this would be like my short idea, right? Take one right here, and another position once price does clear that area, and around here to continue even lower. And this would be my short idea to actually enter. So as you know, I like to give price two chances. This being the first initial setup right here, trying to get to enter early. We are in a rejectives, we are in a support zone, right? So we're not dismissing the fact that we are in a support zone. However, given the volume, right, the volume that we should get, price should continue pushing down, right? We should push past this area, and after that, the next target area is down here. Now, other than that, if price does push higher up and it closes up in this zone here, then we may target back into this area at that point, right? But I wouldn't be too hasty to enter the buys on this, in this particular case, right? So entering this right now, guys, this here is with a stop loss of 13 14 pips. So I'm just gonna send it in the group just so everybody to see. But yeah, this is the trade. This is what I'm entering right now, right? For that potential move to the downside, as well as the USD cross pairs, NZD USD, and AD USD. Those as well. I am leaving my positions. I have some sell setups on that. Potentially looking for that to play out as well, right? So that's basically what we're looking at. Okay. And I'm sorry, guys. I was sort of not cold, but slight allergies, I guess. Just dust, right? Causing my nose to kind of run slightly. And GVY. Oh, 599. And the stop loss total is 14. I like to put like, the stop loss a bit higher than what we see. Right. Right, so you can see that. Just edit this, highlight this. Right, essentially, this is what we're looking at, right? This is what we expected to see. With the London Open, expected to see price actually break this level and continue moving down, bearish. Taking a look here on the 1 hour, right? And if we do get a close, a nice bearish close below this area here, that just gives us more confirmation for continuations moving down. This way. Alright, so I'll be risking, 3%, this and that. And we'll see what price does, right? So could wait, right, until price clears this level here, and then enters for the possible short side. It can enter early. It's not uncommon to see price actually do this, at the support area right here, especially if it's a strong supportive zone. We know that this is a strong supportive zone from all the wick rejections we are seeing from the side here, as price gradually, continuously moved up in this sort of a bullish, very messy bullish pattern, right? So that is something to pay attention to as well. So we're noting that fact, we're not denying that, but this is a potential trade, right? So we do have a couple of minutes until price decides to do this thing here. Let me just put an alert at the point here. Alright, so enter early. Let's see what this does. Giving it two chances. Once it clears here, we enter the next setup and we just let it do its thing. And if it plays somewhere like halfway at least, then I'll take my profits and just call it a day, because there's not much to really say that's going on. And then tomorrow we have FP and stuff, because it's a new month. It's the month of December. Um, and we have a lot of businesses closed and all of that, so not really, we can't force anything from the markets, right, so we can't force anything from the markets. So with that being said, you should take your time with your trading throughout December month. I'm probably just gonna trade the first 2 weeks, if anything, and really take my time with it, because it doesn't make sense trying to put additional risk on everything in a slow month, right? Or what is a historically slow month, right? Especially now with all the other stuff that we have going on, and we rely more on fundamental factors to really get movements from the market. So, at least from my perspective, so yeah, it just doesn't make sense adding on that additional risk, trying to run it up or stack it up or whatever the case is. Right? Let me just do something, guys. If anybody have any questions or anything that they want to look at, just let me know. We could go through that and see potentially what we have coming up as well. As you see, this is why I do not like when we actually start trading. And we have a couple of minutes left. This sort of pullback stuff that we do get during that time, right? Even if we are expecting price to break down, even if we are expecting price to break down, sometimes this does happen. We just pull up from these zones, right? And this is just like buyers, or the market doing what it wants. Well, like example of the market doing what it wants. So pulling up right now. Um, but I'm not gonna enter buys because of this, right? One, very strong downtrend. And if we're going to get volume from the markets during the London Open and during the London session, then we should see a continuation with this bearishness. Not really any reason to see price just start moving bullishly here. unless you want to, we could say that this is all right because it's a supportive zone, yada yada. Price has the potentiality to actually start trending and moving up. But if you take a look at the lower time frame, right, like the 15 minute here, to actually really enter that buy setup, you want to see like price clear some levels, right? We have all of this. We have like this here is our level here, right? We have these nice clear, trending moments in price, right, to the downside. So at what point should be, the best to enter, and sorry, at what point should be best to enter actual buy setup here, right? That's just not something that I'm seeing for myself. So I'm gonna stick with myself for now, right? Um, all of this might actually pull back down during the last 3 minutes or whatever, as the London session does actually open, right? So I'm gonna give it a second chance, obviously. um yeah, that's just all part of it, right? So we'll see what happens. Let's look at the other stuff, what we have happening on the other currency pairs. Let's see, 80 USD. So I do have a trade on this, a, sorry, a sell setup on 80 USD. I'm looking for a correction of this, right? When you go for stones and everything, sorry, we did see that reversal of price. When we saw this bullishness, price continue moving upwards a little bit, and this was expected as we had Jerome Powell's speak. I'll actually update you guys inside the Discord about what was said, at least like a summary of what was said. But it wasn't very it wasn't very optimistic, right? So that did lead to a reversal on the US dollar. We saw the US dollar actually fall, the currency strength itself actually fade, right, compared to like this initial bullish move that we did have. And we saw that price was on the USD crossbase kind of moving bullishly. And as we started during that speech, right, when the Fed spoke, we saw price gradually started falling back down into these levels. Now, again, we maintained in this area right here. Multiple times we came in here right here, and we sort of just been in this big sort of daily range, right, between these two areas, right here and right here. So again, US dollar would continue moving, weakish. We see price actually break the downside here, and that would be very bad for the dollar, right? That we could potentially just start a free fall. Vice versa, we could just potentially just hold this area and see this wick back and forth on the US dollar. So really up to the markets. I can't say anything for decisive right now because low volume, December month, not much going on, right? So we're probably just gonna see this being a continuation, right? Like a continuous trend where we see the US dollar working back and forth, back and forth. But in terms of like my setups, I'm leaving it for now. And as you see, this is the expectancies that I'm looking at, right? For a slight recovery, if we do continue doing that sort of range and movement on the DXY, we should see price actually pull back down here and maybe start back moving into this sort of range, right? On the larger time frames, we could be starting a new range right here, right? This right here. So that is something to pay attention to, and potentially that might be the move. Now, price could just come back into this area right here and test it as support to continue moving upwards. But we'll see, right? Again, I'm not calling anything. Not can't really be decisive. Just a sort of probability. But I do think that, in my opinion, price is going to actually drop lower, right? And continue back down to the support area here. So we'll wait and see. US 30, we saw stocks did really nice, right? So we saw US 30, SPX 500, NAS 100 really rise off of that US dollar weakness, and now we're consolidating, right? There's been a consolidation afterwards. Now, again, the US dollar is in a very peculiar place, so we might see price actually drop, or we might just see this consolidation continue until the next major news that we do have. That being, maybe maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow, we might see something from NFP. But uncertain, right? A lot of uncertainty concerning that. I'm not gonna be trading NFP or anything like that. I'm not gonna put the additional risk for anything, unnecessarily. So yeah, tomorrow might just do the London session stream, and that might be it for me. Right. If anybody have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you guys for joining. Leave a like, helps the channel a lot. If you found anything useful, informational as well, depart a little knowledge on yourself. Then please just leave a like, and yeah, help out the channel to be discovered. Let the YouTube algorithm start rolling, right? Um, USD card. Not much to be said on this either. Overall, on the USD crossfires, right, I'm looking for a total recovery of the initial movement that we saw, right? Um, so all of this total recovery here, the NCD USD total recovery back down here, even NCD CAN and everything, like price just coming back here and recovering as well, right? So that's basically like my take on what I'm looking to expect. Rising pretty strongly here. Right. Another thing will make this great is if after this actual move here, right, we see a long wick being left and price actually pulling back down. That just goes to show that the bearish pressure is there in the market, is very prominent, and that we should see a continuation with the selling movement. Now, this could just, close like this, and then the next candle, we might get a correction, yada yada, and continue moving down is up to the market, right? But it's like the same thing like here, right? Essentially, we tried to get in at this point, right? We had our sell stops, didn't get hit, price corrected itself here, and then continue moving up, right? And then we saw this total correction from the upside, and during the day, during the night, we saw this actually play out, and this will have been very profitable for us if we actually look to enter back into the trade. That I think that'll be second time, right? Because we didn't get the entry here. We got one right here. But then price pulled back up. I just was like, you know what, it's whatever. I'm not gonna look to re-enter a trade, even though it might probably play out, right? And it's so said, so done. It did actually play out. So it's like same thing here. We actually it's like history repeated itself again here during this morning. So we'll see what happens. But overall, still looking for that downtrend continuation. That is where the momentum is at. Yeah, anything else? Not really much in particular. The Euro stuff. We have Euro news coming up. A lot of Euro news being fed to us today. So with that being said, I don't know. We could get some Euro movements here. We could actually see price move bullish, but for now, I'm not too particularly keen on trading anything Euro related, right? Just because of that correlation the Euro does have with the US dollar. If you take a look here, um, so like compared to all the other currencies, right, where we see more large movements from price, we see that the euro is sort of like in terms of overall yields that you could get, it's it's a lot tighter. So like it will be like the same movement but a lot tighter, right? So with that being said, I don't think I'm particularly looking to trade the euro right now in terms of that correlation with the dollar. If you take a look at the other cross pairs, the euro cross pairs, just sort of this ranginess, right? I'm not particularly fond of that. It just doesn't make sense putting the additional risk for anything, right? This euro JP might be a potential trade to swing to the upside. Let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so this is where we have price at currently. Take a look at the 1 hour. Okay, if we manage to clear this area here, sorry, on the 4 hourly chart here, if we manage to close above this area here, we could get a continuation moving even higher. Again, we need catalysts. We need something to give us that push, that movement, and in the currencies themselves. And we don't have that right now. But if we do see something throughout there's a lot of Euro news that we have. There's really more focus on the Euro area news. We have unemployment rate. unemployment rate said to be the same. So if this comes out as the same, or if it comes out better than expected, right? So a lower number unemployment, it will be a higher number of unemployment. Yeah, a higher number for unemployment will be bad, a lower number will be great. So if you get the lower number here, that'll be great. Um, and we should see the euro continue rising, right? Or at least be a catalyst to change the rug. If it does come out as the same, then that might be a catalyst for bearish continuations. It's in a peculiar area, but I do think that will give the best possible yields if you actually took a trade here rather than on the other currency pairs. Right, it may help out the euro card here, may help that. Um, but it's too, we can't say anything for certain, right? Especially with yesterday's news, really, not anything could be said with any certainty, right? So, not too much to to be said on that. Let's see here. All right, so we have like 4 minutes remaining on this. You can see that price is leaving that top wick if we actually get that close below. So you can set it like as a sell stop. And look, just wait for that bearish close, bearish candle close, or even lower, below these wicks, right? And see price continuations. That'll be nice to the downside. So we'll see. If we could get any full set of movement, then great. If not, then I'll just end the stream and update in the group chat how this goes, right? Anything that you guys are watching, if you want, opinion on anything, then feel free to ask as well. It's something that we're doing every day. I'm not particularly sure about coming out tomorrow, right? This has been challenging, kind of up 3 a.m. to set everything up and actually come on the charts here. So yeah, I might take a break Friday. I'm not certain yet. But I'll let you guys know during the course of the day if I'm actually going to, you know, be streaming Friday morning as well. I just need to get everything like get it into my schedule, get it up this holiday, um, especially with my bad sleeping habits, right? So that's something I need to work on personally, to better accommodate for you guys. So we'll see, we'll see. And again, markets kind of shifty. So what we have been getting, we have been doing pretty well from the London session live streams thus far. Has been very profitable. At least I would like to say so. Hopefully, some of you guys will agree. Um, so yeah, especially in this low volume situation, right? So throughout January and continuing on, I think the situation should be better and it'll give us better opportunities. And yeah, we'll see how things go. But hopefully this is something we could continue doing. There are no live sessions, throughout the London session times will be like, this relaxing. I just used to see everybody on YouTube is doing it. All the traders gurus on YouTube is doing it. So I was like, that market's so saturated. Doesn't make sense that I do it too, right? But some of you guys, it's better for you guys in terms of like where you live in time zones and whatnot. So I don't mind in particularly doing it. Price is pulling up here. Last minute as markets London session opens. Alright, that's the London session start. So we'll see. Would we get a wick rejection from the top here? Would price close bullishly to the top side? What would we see? Continuations moving down or what? This right here, I'm pretty salty about this. I'm not even gonna lie because it hit all our areas perfectly. This first one here, close below, continue moving down. Second one here, it hit. This one here, it hit without actually coming back up to the stop loss areas. So this was like just perfect opportunities to enter. And this would have been 8, 4, and 3, around 4. So right around like 16, around 16%, right? So that was that was assault. That was I think I have the right to be salty about that. Alright, so new hourly candle is forming. Price has pushed above this area. We could continue moving bullish, right? We could continue moving bullish here. We could come back into this level, being a possible area for sell continuations. So I'll mark this as an area of possibility. Price may reach back up into, and then during the course of the day, we could get a sell setup going to the downside, right? Just because price is starting to move up here, I'm not gonna change my bias right now. Um, it's a risky gamble, right? At that point, it's a risky gamble because where you're gonna enter, right? You could enter impulsively for price to continue moving upwards. Yes, stop loss right below here or below this candle here, and that's something that could happen. It could play out, um, especially if the volume is there, right? If the volume is there, price could continue moving up here, and you just put your stops right below here, right? Or wait for this candle to make a wick lower, and then just continue moving up. Uh, yeah, this has a potential to actually happen, but for me, I'm going with the overall trend. I'm not risking it just because of the low volume situation, right? So I don't want to take a trade of like a reversal or anything like that or a pullback right now, right? Because on the off chance that the volume just isn't there, then this would just be an unnecessary risk, right? Um, so yeah, if prices continue moving up bullishly here, then that's great. And we just didn't get any trades. Would have been like just once stop out here, and that's okay, right? But if prices to manage to continue lower, we just get entered here. Price continues lower with the volume, and we will see what happens, right? Especially with the upcoming USD news that we do have as well, that could give the yen the push it needs to continue moving bearishly. So we'll see. We'll see if it happens before that or during that. Um, Whatever price decides to do. Right, but for now, this is my entries here, waiting for this to be targeted, as well as down here and continuations moving down. Whether that happens today, tomorrow, we won't know. But as you can see, once I make my mind up on my bias, it usually plays out. Maybe not immediately, but eventually, right? And not to be egotistical or anything like that. So yeah, so this is what I have. This is what I'm waiting on. Price has pulled up here initially at the get-go, and we'll see if this is maintained. If it continues moving up, that's great. Gives us another opportunity to actually come and sell, right? Um, we have some news coming up for the USD, initial jobless claims, continuous jobless claims, as well as the PC personal spending information here data. So we'll see how that affects the USD. And we also have some speeches coming later down in the day and the night. And we'll see what kind of impact that has. So yeah, that's it for me for right now, guys. And hopefully this is informative. At least we'll keep this and see what price does, if it intends to move downwards or not. And yeah, you have my other trades that I'm looking at here within the group is the sell setups here. One right here for the ADUSD continuations, as well as the NCD the continuations with the risk assets should give better yields. I would take it around 3% profit maybe on each, so a total of 6% in a day, 0.5% if it comes the GPJPYL. And yeah, we'll see what actually happens, right? So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for coming to this live stream. Please leave a like if you found this informational. You just chill with me. Cool vibes. And yeah, we'll see what price decides to do during the course of the day, right? So thank you guys. Um, you do have a good, wonderful trading day. Really appreciate you guys coming out. What do you think? I feel these pre-opening trades on GVGVY with tight stops highly work because of the opening volume. Wouldn't it be better to use sell or buy stops after the opening? That is a good question. Though, yes, that could be like the better possible option for you. However, for me, is it's something that I readily do it, right? So it's something that I continuously do. A lot of my trades sometimes can be like that, and it works out for me, for the most part, right? So if I do get stopped out here or there, it's whatever. But in terms of like putting buy stops and stuff like that, I don't like doing it a lot of the times because it could always change, right? Situations could always change, or price might spike in and then continue and so forth. Um, so in terms of like the GPJPY, this is what you'll call like impulsive movements, right? You're looking for the volume to continue pushing price in a certain area or direction. Um, so instead of like using the buy stops or anything, you enter on the last. It's supposed to be like it's not like a rule of thumb, but it could be considered like a rule of thumb that you would enter on the last maybe last minute of the candle form, right before the volume kicks in, or the last 2 minutes or something like that, right? You could put the buy stops, you could put the sell stops. Nothing wrong with that. It's just your preferred type of way of trading, right? For me, I like to enter the point of those points of entries rather than using the buy stops. If price does stop me out once, then I'll use buy stops, I'll use sell stops, or whatever the case is, right? But yeah, I like to go with the volume initially. I like to take early entries, well, possible early entries to better maximize my yields as well, right? So that's just something I do. And you can see like throughout my trading is something I do like readily, and it works like at least I want to say at least 70% of the time or around so. And then sometimes you'll use the buy stop, sell stops, or whatever the case may be. If the trade looks like the bias is the same, there's no reason to change it and so forth, right? But it really is up to you as a trader, right? You could enter with the initial volume looking for that to be the mover, or you could just use your buy stops, sell stops, whatever works best for you, right? Whatever you're comfortable with. So hopefully that answer your question, right? Not seeing like all of this. And I do not trade gold. I really do dislike gold, right? So I'm not particularly fond of gold. Um, Overall on gold though, I do think that price can come down, especially if we see the US dollar actually recover from this and like reapproaches back into this area. Then yeah, we'll actually come down on gold, right? We'll see like a correction of that bullish movement here, right? We might see prices come back down to this area here. I'm not particularly fond of gold. I really never liked gold initially, right? So this is the story of why I don't like gold. Initially when I started getting into trading, or like when I was first introduced to it, was through IM Academy. A lot of people have heard of IM Academy, the multi-million dollar MLM, right? Multi-level marketing or something like that. I think that it stands for. And yeah, the guy that was supposed to be my mentor, air quote mentor, um, he actually used to just trade gold and some other asset. I think it was a yen asset, not GBP, but something else, right? And the main USD paid like your USD and stuff like that, right? And yeah, I'll say like, okay, everybody traded gold. I'm gonna try this too. Um, Tried it, didn't work out. Use a demo account, didn't work out. Paying live money, didn't work out. And it just looked like gold just disliked me, like heavily disliked me. Like it felt personal. I felt personally attacked. So at that point, I was like, you know what? F this, never trading you again. I don't even need you, bro. So I just continued to stay away from it. I would look at it occasionally, but in terms of like taking setup and stuff, nah, it's not something that I do on a readily occasion. Nah, I don't trade gold like that, right? Maybe once in a blue moon, and I mean once in a blue moon, like probably like once every 6 months. Yeah, once every 6 months, I might trade gold. But other than that, yeah, I have no reason to touch it out. Um, so yeah, that's the reason why I hate gold. Um, and it's a lot of manipulation with like, the your USD gold itself. Yeah, they pay attention to like, um, the bond markets and stuff like that, right? And I don't really have time to do all of that. Like to get like the best possible setup that I could on gold. So I just choose to stay away from it. um but if it's a pair that you like, something that makes you money, then by all means go for it, right? But yeah, I think like with all these other currency pairs that we do have with and stuff like that, yeah, gold seems a little unnecessary. Yeah, so that's just me personally. All right, guys. So yeah, price pull up pretty bullishly here, so we could continue seeing this being a thing. Um, so that's it from me, right? So I'm gonna end it here. We'll see what JPY has in store for us, what it does. Right? If it does reach all the way back up here, I'll just use it as a possible area to continue like enter a short setup, right? Because as you see, we cleared that area pretty nice, to the downside bearishly. After we got these rejections, and all of this was during the news itself, or the upcoming news. So there was some fundamental factors for this movement to the upside. But you saw that we quickly corrected that. We continued with the downtrend, the bearishness, and then we broke this level, continued down, and so forth. So this may be the area price just reaches into, rejects, and continue moving lower, or even if it comes up high here in 1 hour. I think we could just use that as an opportunity to continue moving down for now, right? Because that's where the overall momentum is pointing at, the long-term momentum, so to speak, right? So yeah, that's it for me, and that's what I think is the likely probable thing to happen. All right, guys. So thank you for joining, and I'll let you know if I actually do come if I do decide to come on tomorrow as well. All right. So by this evening, I'll let you guys know probably like around 5 o'clock. I'll let you guys know whether I'm gonna be on tomorrow morning or not. All right. So thank you for joining in. I do hope that you have a good trading day. Peace.